Hey, welcome to 209coach.com. I want to do a video for you here from a different angle. On this video right here specifically is when to start the pullback. What is the correct sequence to the pullback? And this is crucial in order for you to maximize your potential when you are hitting, okay? Because what happens with many players, they don't know when to start the pullback. They don't know how to use their body correctly. And I hope this video helps you so that you can help yourself, your child, your grandchild, anyone, okay? Because this is what happens at the highest level, whether it be MLB, NCAA softball, you name it. Elite players pretty much all do this, but they do it with their own kind of style, but they're pretty much all doing it to one degree or another. So I hope this video helps, okay? So the first thing I want to explain to you is this. You can see here, it's very obvious, and I bring this up all the time, that his hands are between his neck and his deltoid, okay? And this is crucial because, again, this is what the best players in the world do, and they do it for a reason. This causes your hands and your body to be super relaxed when you're at the setup. You don't want any tension at the setup. Another thing you're going to notice at the setup, his hand is right now pointing in the direction of the pitcher, his top palm, okay? His top palm. His bat right now is vertical. In other words, this right here, if he was bouncing it, it'd be bouncing it on his back just like this, okay? He's not bouncing it over his right shoulder. He's not bouncing it over here by his elbow. This right here, if he lifted it up, it would be straight up vertical, okay? So this right here is just the bat that is literally directly behind him. So if you were doing this, and I recommend actually doing this when you're at bat, when you're getting ready to hit, just bounce the bat over your shoulder. This releases a lot of tension, okay? That's what you want. Now, watch what's going on right here. The first thing he does, when he lifts his front leg, notice how his top hand is still facing the pitcher as he gets into his apex of the gather, okay? As he lifts his leg. Now, some players do this a little sooner in regards to getting the hip coil. Some of them do it here like what Bryce Harper's doing, where they kind of transfer their weight a little bit, okay? But regardless, when you're at the apex of the gather, which is right here, you still want to have your vertical bat, and your hands or your palms should still be facing in the direction of the pitcher, okay? You do not want your palm facing downward, and you especially don't want your palm facing upward, because this is what causes bat drag, okay? So by watching this video, hopefully from this angle will give you a very good view of what goes on with an elite baseball player. This is what happens again with softball players as well. So watch what's going on right here. He lifts his front leg, and watch how he's kind of squatting into his back leg. He's getting into his back leg, his back hip. He has most of his weight, it's very obvious, on the back leg and the back hip. When you do this move, okay, as you're squatting down, you want to feel like your back pocket is facing in the direction of the pitcher, almost like you're rotating your hip so that your back pocket faces the pitcher, but you're staying back. You want to feel like you're staying back 100% of your weight on your back leg, okay? It's real important not to let your body feel like it's lunging. Now, some players, the body will definitely start moving forward, but you still want to feel like 100% of your weight is on your back leg, your back hip, as you're coiling the lower body, okay? Now, as you get into the apex of the gather and you're coiling your back leg, your back hip, okay? And watch what's going on right here. You can see it's very obvious that he's staying in the back leg, and his bat is still vertical, okay? There's no pullback yet. Watch his arms, okay? Watch how you can still see where it says Harper in his back of his shirt. The reason why? Because he's not applying any pullback yet as he's getting into the apex of the gather. This is crucial to understand this, okay? You do not want to start doing any pullback until you start your forward move. You do not want your wrist to be hinging downward like you're spilling a cup until you start your forward move. It's very obvious right here that his wrists are not starting to cock down yet. They're still pointing towards the pitcher. They're not pointing in this way. If they were, the bat would be at an angle like this. That's one way to tell. Now, when you're doing this drill, if you're going to be doing this, I recommend do it in front of a mirror. And I want you to grab a bat, and I just want you to load up that back leg, load up that back hip. Feel like this, literally like you're squatting into that back leg as you're coiling your back hip, your back leg, and feel like your back pocket is starting to do this kind of a move like this. See that little move that he's doing right there? The tailbone, the back pocket is starting to go towards the pitcher. This is step one right here. When you lift the front leg again, coil the back hip, the back leg. You're not doing any pullback yet. The bat stays vertical, okay? The bat stays vertical, the palm still facing the pitcher. Now, this is when the pullback begins. Watch what's going on here. Now you're going to see as he goes forward, see where it says Harper in the back of his shirt right there? You can see right there, it's very obvious now that he is applying his pullback because you cannot see his last name on his jersey. Pay attention right now. Watch what's going on. He's at the apex of the gather right here. Now watch his back elbow. Watch what happens. Watch how it goes back and behind him. Back and behind him, okay? This is what you want. Now, the way this occurs is get your top hand and pull it back, okay? Feel like you're getting your top palm, your top of your back hand, and almost like you're pulling it like in this direction over your shoulder. But it's applied with maybe a pressure from 1 to 10, like 3. You don't want to do this abruptly, okay? It's more of a technique than it is anything to do with force. Again, you master this part right here, and what I would highly recommend for you to do at the apex of the gather, watch what's going on with his front foot. Just hover your back foot on the ground like this, look in the mirror, and make sure that your bat is still pointing, okay, still pointing in a vertical position, and that your palm is still facing in the direction of the pitcher. If it's not doing this, start adjusting your body to do so, okay? Now, again, you have to remember that it's crucial that you feel like you have about 100% of your weight on your back leg as you're coiling the back hip, the back leg, like the back pocket's going towards the pitcher. The bat stays vertical. See that squat move? That's because he's loading into that back leg, the back hip, as he's coiling his back hip, okay? Now again, as you go forward here, after you hover your front foot on the ground, just let yourself go to toe touch and just feel this pull back just like this. Watch what he's doing, okay? He's letting the top hand work back and behind him, and now it's very obvious that his palm is literally facing in this direction right here, okay? That's where it's facing, and you can see now that his bat went from being vertical, okay, to now is at a slant like this, okay? It's slanted. Why? Because he's applying the pullback and he's doing that spill the cup move with his top hand. Watch his top hand. Watch what happens. Vertical, and then watch what happens. See that little cocking move right there with his hand? You can see it very well right here where it goes from being vertical to tilting, okay? This is applied by the pullback. This is applied by you having that pullback and maintaining the pullback. Watch what happens as he gets into his heel plant. His back elbow is still up. His back palm, check this out, is still pointing downward. Why? Because he's maintaining the pullback. Like I say in all my videos, the reason these guys are playing at this level is because they do this so well. Where's the bat pointing? Towards the field, okay? It's pointing in this direction. It's not pointing upward, and it's definitely not pointing in this direction like you see with a lot of lower level players. This produces a lot of power. It produces a lot of quickness in your swing. It produces a beautiful hand path. Again, when you get to the setup, you're going to just set up very nice and comfortably with super smooth tempo. You're going to get to the gather. You're going to pause right here. You should be able to still see the logo in your back of your shirt. And the reason why, because there's no pullback yet. Now, as you start getting into your swing, you're loading the back hip, the back leg, the back pocket is going towards the pitcher as you spill the cup, as you're pulling back with the top hand. And as you get into your heel plant, maintain that pullback right here, and just make sure when you get to heel plant right here, you can see he's at heel plant. You can see that he still has a shoulder to elbow look. Now, even if your back elbow drops a little bit down here, that's fine, but you don't want your back elbow slotting down at the side of your body. That is showing me that you're leaking a lot of your pullback. You're leaking a lot of your load. This is why these guys, these ladies that play at the highest level have so much power, because they're doing exactly this move right here. Watch this move right here. This is just amazing how well he applies the pullback. There's a reason why Bryce Harper is one of the most powerful hitters in the MLB, because he maintains the pullback, keeps the pullback. Therefore, when he does this, watch what happens. The bat works right around the corner of the deltoid, just like I mentioned in all my videos with all the guys, all the ladies that apply this move. The bat will beautifully work right around the corner of the deltoid, and watch what happens. The lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth. This allows you to launch the ball, launch it. Watch how his bat goes high in an orbit like a roller coaster, not like a merry-go-round, okay? This is what you see with the best players in the world. Again, in a nutshell, just make sure you're very relaxed at the setup. See how the bat is kind of working up and down? That's because he's just being very relaxed. Get to the apex of the gather. There's no pullback yet. All you're doing is loading it to that back leg, the back hip, like you're squatting into that back leg, the back hip. As you start your forward move, that's when the top hand pulls back and the back elbow works up, back and behind you. And that's when you start spilling that cup of your top hand, tilting down so that your top hand faces in front of the home plate, okay? Give me a like, subscribe to my channel. I hope this helps. Please try this drill. And remember, a great swing is not built in a day. It takes time, takes a lot of repetition, but I promise you this, if you apply what I'm showing you in this video, your child, you will improve tremendously, but you have to do it slowly and methodically with super smooth tempo. You do not explode into the swing until you get to heel plant. At heel plant, that is when everything explodes. But at the setup to toe touch is very, very smooth, controlled. You control your stride with having very, very smooth tempo, and with that coil, the back hip, the back leg, and that pullback also works as a brake mechanism for you to control your stride. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.